Hey everyone, doing something a little bit different here. I know there are a lot of people that are struggling with this combination of the next gen, especially in the fixed series on the Daytona road course. So I'm going to kind of let you go through my qualifying lap from last night. We'll go through lap 1, which was the 155.611. Start here in the cockpit view so you can kind of see what I see, kind of get a feel for my braking points, that sort of thing. And then I'll go back, do it from the far chase view, and I'll kind of talk through different things. You're going to see a lot of spaces where you can improve upon what I did for sure. I was wide in a couple turns, missed a couple things. But 155, from what I'm seeing, is pretty decent. The really fast guys, I have seen some 152s, but if you can get somewhere into this range and consistently run in this range, you're going to be doing pretty good. So hopefully this helps some people out. I know this is an absolutely miserable combination to run around here or even, invest time into trying to figure out, because I remember it took me probably 6 resets before I made one complete lap around here. So we'll let this run here. I'm going to let this stuff up so you can see my wheel, my throttle and brake, that sort of thing. And we'll just let this run here, then we'll come back and look at it from the far chase view. Alright, so there was qualifying lap number 1 for me. Alright, so we'll go back to the beginning of this, rewind just a little bit. Go to far chase. Alright, so I actually screwed up a little bit coming to the green. Actually, that's still the same qualifying lap. Here we go. And I caught a little bit of these curves here and kind of screwed me up. So what I did here was I kind of stayed high till right around here, then I dove down just to kind of try and make this a little bit longer, then use the banking for any little bit of extra acceleration I could get. And I think what we'll do here is I'll run this through on half speed the first time, and then I'll just run it through full speed one more time from this view. Alright, so this is going to take forever, but that's what we're going to do. So like I said, I was a little bit high there, just trying to lengthen that out. Use the banking to come down here. And then for my braking point, I was kind of trying to use that sign right there when I would see it pass my pillar, the left side A pillar. Get on the brakes and start downshifting. Downshift it to second. And you have to get these cars a lot slower. You can see I locked up a little bit right there, and I'm a little bit wide. If you can stay a little bit in tighter, you're going to be a little bit better off. It's real easy to have the rear end come out in through here on you. The curbs unsettle the car pretty bad. You get full throttle for a real short amount of time, then rewind this just a little bit. Right about here. Obviously you can see where I'm hitting the brake. Right when I'm starting to see this in my cockpit view. So right about here is where I'm starting to get on the brake. And staying in second gear all the way through this infield section. First gear is pretty much useless. You're just going to spin the rear tires and spin yourself out. So you get down into here, and like I said, it feels like you're going way, way, way too slow, but these cars will not turn if you don't. As you can see, I'm out a little bit too wide here, so there's more room for improvement that you could have. I'm a little wide on the exit also because of it. You can roll into the throttle from there, get up to full throttle, go back to full speed right here. And then right about there, at the end of that sign, kind of roll out of the throttle. I use a little bit of brake just to kind of help settle the car. Then you can kind of slowly feed back in here, but you're not on the throttle very long. And then right about where that little gray patch is there is where I get on the brakes pretty hard. Actually, I lied to you. I said I stay in second all the way through. I do shift to third right there. Then back down the second here. And try and roll it in through here. This is another corner where I was a little bit wide. The exit there, you can see I just, not real bad, but still a little bit wider. Then through here, I'm braking right about there. Used to braking a lot deeper into this corner, but if you do, you're going to end up down here in the tire barrier. Now this part here, these cars, they don't turn when they're on the brakes, and they want to spin out if you're giving it any kind of wheel and too much throttle in through here. It's super easy to spin out right through here. So I'm about half throttle at this point, slowly feeding in, but as I'm doing it, I'm straightening up the wheel to try and keep the car straight and just letting it run up the banking so I can get some speed build up. The car settles about this point and you're fine. You can go flat out from that point. Now, the next thing you gotta watch is right up here where this transition is. The car will get loose on you right there. You can see right here I correct and actually jumped out of the throttle a little bit. If you run that line a little bit wrong and you have too much wheel in it, you'll spin down to the infield. Now for my braking marker for the bus stop, I'm using this 3 sign. Right after I pass it, I'm on the brakes hard, and I start downshifting. So I go fourth to third, and then I don't shift to second until right about... Oh, maybe I already did. Hang on. Let's let it play full speed. Okay, yeah, right there I was in second. So I change it depending on what I'm doing, how hard I'm running, but let's go back to fifth. There's fourth, third, and I hit second a little bit early there. I just use it to kind of help slow the car down too. I'm probably a little too aggressive on that, but then my line through here is not the best either. If you run out this wide and you're on the throttle hard like I was right here, it'll get a little bit loose on you. See where I had to jump out of the throttle, it spun the rear tires up. That'll shoot you out to the outside wall. So you have to really watch that. Maybe stay a little bit more this way, but I got used to pretty much hugging right here against this curb. So then from this point, back out onto the banking. And this is another thing that I'm not sure what the best strategy is. I like to stay low, and I stay in fourth gear. If I run fifth gear, I tend to overdrive going into this chicane up here. I could kind of come up here a little bit earlier. I could probably go a bit wider. But if I do it too late, it unsettles the car when you're getting in here and you end up spinning. The 7 here is my brake marker for that. and staying in fourth, I just go to third. And then right there, I went to second. And I just ride the brakes down through here, get it slowed down. I'm still on the brakes until right about here. And then the car just feels like it's going super, super slow, but it makes it through there decently. And then right back on the throttle pretty hard. And there's that lap. So it's tough. I mean, there were a lot of mistakes that I made through that too, that if you clean that up, you could probably easily knock another second off of what I did. I'm not the best road racer in the world. Not the best, really, anything racer in the world, but I have a decent time here, it seems like. So hopefully this will help some people out. We'll roll this back, and we'll just let this run through at normal speed for you. Alright, so there's full speed from the far chase view. I'll just let this run through the second lap here while I'm talking. The only other thing I can tell you that it did, coming out of the pits, I rode the brakes, probably had them 40 to 50% held down while going out through the pits, just to try and get some heat in the brakes. These cars, from my understanding, have things modeled to where the brakes don't work very well when they're cold, versus the old Cup Series car, the Gen 6, the Xfinity car, where you basically have full braking power from the start. These cars have to get a little bit of temperature in them first before they work. So just doing that helped to get a little bit in it. That was a little bit easy the first couple turns on the warm-up lap. But once you get out to about this point, things are pretty warmed up, especially if you go into the bus stop at a fairly decent amount of speed. So that heat should be there, but that just kind of helps it get up the tempo a little bit quicker for you. I also, on the start of the race, did a little pace lap, which if you watch that, I'm pretty sure you can see that. I was dragging the brakes through as much of that warm-up lap as I could, just to try and get anything I could to help me out, which I still got punted into the first horseshoe, so not really a whole lot I could do about that. But hopefully this helps somebody out. If it did, let me know. Like I said, I'm not the fastest guy in the world, especially on road courses, but I had a decent enough time and picked up a decent amount of speed from when I started practicing here the other night. So hopefully I can share this and help some people get some better results. There's lap 2 for you. Thanks for watching.